I for one was shocked when I heard that a show that was top 10 in 47 countries 24 hours after its premiere is getting a second season. I'm shocked that all the trolls and YouTubers claiming to have insider knowledge that Meghan's show had been cancelled and that Harry and Meghan's Netflix deal was definitely over were wrong. In case you haven't heard with Love Meghan, the new Netflix show by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is getting a second season premiering in the fall. It turns out all the review bombing and the relentless campaign to tear down with Love Meghan has failed. In fact, it might have even helped Meghan. Netflix has renewed the series for a second season, proving once again that Meghan Sussex can't be beaten. The people who spent days attacking the show and Meghan, from bitter tabloid columnists to deranged YouTube trolls, now have egg on their face. Because reviews and critics don't matter. Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos has said so himself. We make TV for people, not critics. Netflix doesn't care about critics. Why would they? The point of Netflix is that there's something for everyone. You might not like it, but someone else will. The idea that there's a handful of people who get to tell the rest of us what's good and what's not good is ridiculous, especially when people can make that decision for themselves with just one click. No one who is scrolling through Netflix stops to check what Camilla Tominey at The Telegraph thinks before clicking on a title. They just click, and if they like it, they like it. And if they don't, they move on. And despite the nasty reviews, people clearly liked the show because people in 47 different countries would not be hate-watching it. And it was top 10 in several non-English speaking countries. With Love, Meghan debuted at number 6 in the top 10 in the US. Netflix US has around 7,000 titles available to watch. By March 6th, 2 days after the premiere, the series was the 7th most popular title on Netflix globally. And as of March 8th, the series was the 9th most popular globally, having now ranked in the top 10s in at least 56 countries. Meghan's show is very niche, so it makes sense that it wouldn't be doing better than a true crime documentary or scripted series. For example, Netflix's Emmy-nominated series Chef's Table, which ran for 5 seasons, didn't always make it into the top 10. The reviews were over the top, excessively nasty, and quite frankly unhinged.
I find it astonishing. The vitriol leveled at Meghan is entirely disproportionate to who she is as a person. And, you know, like she's not Vladimir Putin. She's just a mum from California who quite likes making her own bath salts. And I think it says far more about us and the state of the world than it does about Meghan, the way that people respond.
No, that's a fair comment.
The overkill was due in large part because Meghan's name is great for SEO. The Telegraph and The Guardian each put out 3 different reviews. Variety put out a review calling it an ego trip not worth taking. It was later exposed that the writer of that Variety review, Daniel Daddario, has been trolling Meghan and her children online since 2017. That's why you shouldn't take these reviews at face value, because they are often biased. GB News, which never misses an opportunity to bash Meghan, brought in a chef who claims he turned down an offer to be on Meghan's show just to insult her. Jameson Stock, who GB News describes as a celebrity chef, seems like a shady character to say the least. A 2012 article describes Stock running out on a failing restaurant after £7,000 went missing, and apparently that's the 3rd restaurant he's done that to. The manager of the restaurant, David Stevenson, said of Stock, "He was a liar, he was lazy, he was dirty, and he didn't even cook." Yeah, I can see that. More recently, Stock has been auctioning private dinners cooked by him with 0 bids. He makes outrageous claims, including saying he has contracts with Netflix and Disney and that he's cooked for the royal family, none of which are true. So it's not surprising that he was found to have lied about being asked to appear on Meghan's show. GB News didn't bother verifying his story. They were more interested in joining the pile on. It just further proves that much of the hysteria surrounding Meghan's show is manufactured. Even The Economist, a publication that doesn't typically review Netflix shows, put out a review much to the delight of Newsweek's royal correspondent, who tried to claim it was a huge blow to Meghan because The Economist is apparently her favorite magazine. Who knows where he got that from? What's interesting is that since Meghan's show premiered, all the focus has been on the negative reviews, when there are many positive reviews of the show. Town and Country said Meghan shines when she's the student. I agree. The episode where Chef Roy Choi teaches Meghan how to make Korean fried chicken is by far the strongest episode and my personal favorite. I hope there are more episodes with this format in season 2. Harper's Bazaar called the show a rewarding return to self for Meghan. Betches said, Meghan Markle's show is not pointless. It's actually joyful AF. Glamour called it the perfect show for 2025. The Western Australian said, unpopular opinion, I love Meghan Markle's new Netflix show. Better Homes and Gardens called it lovely. Ebony called it a rebellious act of joy. There are many more. My personal favorite, with Love Meghan, proves that if you're still hating on Meghan Markle in 2025, you're literally just embarrassing yourself. Yeah, exactly. Meghan is living a life her haters could only dream of. And no one is forcing anyone to watch. There are so many posts and comments by people who loved the show and felt inspired by the show that are predictably being ignored by the media that want its pound of flesh and is intent on perpetuating the narrative that every single person on the planet universally hated Meghan's new show. Some of my favorites that I saw, unsurprisingly, the British press is foaming at the mouth over with love, Meghan with savage review after savage review popping up one after the other today, like a particularly rabid game of whack-a-mole. And after watching a couple of episodes this evening, it's clear to see why. She is blissfully happy and they cannot abide the fact that they didn't break her. Another, you all are mad at Meghan Markle for checks notes, crafting delightful get-togethers for her friends. And this really touching one, Meghan with love is brilliant, and the first time since I lost my boys that I felt calm and relaxed. Now I want to host and have fun again. She puts you in a kindness and love bubble, and we all need that. To be fair, season 2 of With Love Meghan has already been filmed. However, according to Flix Patrol, many series are not renewed even though several episodes of a potential sequel have already been filmed. Netflix decided to go ahead with a second season using the episodes already filmed, certainly because they valued audience data as a key factor. Despite the hate campaign, Netflix relied on the facts, namely global performance metrics, to assess the potential success of the series. So Netflix could have scrapped season 2 of With Love Meghan. Had season 1 not done well, they've canceled things that have already been filmed before. And both Meghan's animated series Pearl and Michelle Obama's animated series were scrapped during pre-production. As of March 12th, With Love, Meghan had amassed 2.6 million views and 12.6 million hours watched. What critics and trolls don't seem to realize is that it's this unhinged obsession with everything Meghan does, why Netflix has gone into business with Meghan as a partner with her lifestyle brand. As Ted Sarandos said, the documentary we did on them is still one of our most watched documentaries of all time on Netflix and huge, particularly in the UK, where people just devour everything about them. You may love them or hate them, but you're watching. The Harry and Meghan's documentary helped push Netflix sales to £1.5 billion in the UK alone. That's a pretty great return on investment for the company. Plus, Meghan's news show is already affecting the way people are shopping for food. Waitrose in the UK has reported that since the series dropped on March 4th, searches for edible flowers and crudités are up 200%. And for truffle salt, they've seen a leap of 3,200%. There's an entire list of products Meghan's show has had an impact on. The Meghan effect strikes again. And I bet when Meghan's flower sprinkles go on sale, they'll sell out. I'm going to do a separate video about all the reasons why I think Netflix has partnered with Meghan, so look out for that. The one-pan pasta dish Meghan makes on the show, which people who don't cook were predictably incensed about, has gone viral with everyone from ordinary people and professional chefs making it. ITV's This Morning even brought on a professional chef to make the dish so they could try it. The Le Creuset pan Meghan is seen using multiple times throughout the show has sold out in pretty much every color.
Here's what I know is that Le Creuset needs to write this woman a check. Every single girl, gay, and they is about to be crawling through their local TJ Maxx or Ross hoping to find one of these Le Creuset pieces in a cream or an off-white or some other like neutral earth tone because they saw it on With Love Meghan. You know who else needs to say thank you is every single grocery store in the country, especially the person that is in charge of their produce department, because I am pretty sure that we are all about to like crawl through to chop up one of those crudité platters, because one thing Meghan Sussex is gonna do is chop up a cute little crudité platter. Like, look at this fruit platter that she did. Look at this! I want to go have a picnic. It is snowy and nasty outside. I'm still going to have a picnic. I'm going to chop up like delightful little veggies and put together a little platter. I might make focaccia. This show is an entire delight. It is Ina Garten reborn. It is Martha Stewart in her prime. It is like for the people that like the vibe of Gwyneth Paltrow without any of like the weird pseudoscience stuff. This is like Nadia Hussein, you know, like Nadia, like Cooking with Nadia or whatever. Like she won, I think, Great British Bake Off, and now she's got a couple of cooking shows on Netflix. I made one of her choco flans a couple of years ago that I still think about to this day. Like, this has all of those vibes. The only people who are mad about this are terrible people. So I will be making this honey lemon raspberry preserve cake this weekend and drinking water and minding all of my business, just like Meghan. This show is great. I would like 12 more seasons immediately. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, he's right. Just look at the spike in searches for Le Creuset since Meghan's show premiered. People are also sharing tips on social media about where to get Le Creuset for cheaper.
It's this Le Creuset pot, and I'm like, how do I get this?
Timu Meghan Markle here. Le Creuset has outlets. You can Google Le Creuset outlets. You want the outlet, not the boutique. Because if you go to the boutique, you're paying full price. If you go to the outlet, then you're getting like the colors that they're not trying to promote anymore, and it's gonna be like 40%, 60% off. So
Meghan's use of Le Creuset has even sparked a movement among Black women to show off their Le Creuset cookware on social media. But Meghan is so unrelatable, right? So much for British commentators and critics who were convinced that Meghan's show wasn't going to inspire or influence anyone. The criticisms of Meghan's news show are forced, stupid, and prejudiced. Meghan McCain, whose memoir sold less than 300 copies and who has recently discovered that the best way for her to get attention is to make nasty comments about Meghan Sussex, said that she didn't trust a woman who cooks in white because she doesn't. It's not like chefs have traditionally worn white for eons. This is exactly the type of stupid argument you'd expect from this bad-built Nepo baby. Meghan McCain is just jealous because she's unsuccessful and lacks taste. Look at her tacky wedding cake. People have also accused Meghan of being inauthentic for not filming in her home. Joanna Gaines bought and renovated a home to film in so that her children wouldn't feel like they were always on set. Ina Garten films The Barefoot Contessa show in a barn-turned kitchen on her property in East Hampton, New York, not her actual home kitchen. Martha Stewart started off in a TV studio and then filmed on her estate. She doesn't film in her own private kitchen or residence, but rather in kitchens and areas built specifically for filming on the property. So why is Meghan being criticized for not filming in her actual kitchen? Especially when she is very upfront about the fact that they are not filming in her actual home? Another unhinged criticism leveled at Meghan is that she dared to tell Mindy Kaling that her name was actually Meghan Sussex now. It caused a complete meltdown among royalist and Meghan haters, even though Meghan has every right to use Sussex as her surname. In fact, members of the royal family, the peerage generally, often use their dukedom or title as a shorthand surname. For example, Prince Harry was always known as Harry Wales at school and in the military as a nod to his father, King Charles, then the Prince of Wales. William has also always used the name Wales, and his children do too. Even the Daily Mail admitted Meghan was right.
She and Lilibet, on their birth certificates, are Mountbatten Windsor, which is the royal family surname.
Well, this is where the argument's been online today, isn't it? Is some people think that that's their surname.
Yes, so it is.
Yeah.
But since they became the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the family can also use the Sussex title. So we have that for aristocrats in this country. You might have, let's take, say, the Duke of Marlborough. His family name is Spencer Churchill, but he might call himself Jamie Marlborough. And, you know, you're perfectly entitled to do that. So they've obviously chosen to use the Sussex name in the same way that Harry used to be known as Harry Wales when he was in the armed forces.
Meghan and Harry's children now go by Lily and Archie Sussex. Meghan talked about how it was so special to her that she and her children share that name. Now, some royal watchers, myself included, think Meghan knew exactly what she was doing when she said this. Look, Meghan is shrewd, and I have always said that she's an expert at trolling her trolls. She had to know calling herself Meghan Sussex would cause a disproportionate meltdown that would end with her being in the right, further proving that the outrage against her is manufactured. And it did. Chief among the complaints about Meghan's new show is that she isn't relatable. Why does she need to be relatable? Meghan is a Northwestern graduate and a duchess married to the second son of the King of England. She lives on a sprawling estate in Montecito and has a garden that could support a Michelin star restaurant. She is aspirational to most people. White women have never had to be relatable. Martha Stewart was never relatable. As one commentator pointed out, Martha Stewart once yelled at an assistant for using the wrong knife to cut an orange, and people still love her. Ballerina Farms isn't relatable. She's married to a billionaire's son. Oxford graduate and decidedly posh Nigella Lawson was never relatable. Ina Garten, the barefoot Contessa and Hamptons resident, was never relatable. Pamela Anderson isn't relatable. Gwyneth Paltrow, one of the most recognizable celebrity lifestyle gurus, isn't relatable. Kate, the Princess of Wales, isn't relatable. Few women can stop working for over a year to fight cancer. And many cancer patients in the UK have to wait before starting cancer treatment. These women aren't relatable. They're just white. White women are allowed to be aspirational, and they're allowed to live the soft life. When people say Meghan isn't relatable, what they really mean is she isn't relatable to the image of a black woman they have in their heads. They aren't used to seeing a woman of color living a fairy tale. Black women aren't supposed to be living a fairy tale like Meghan is. They aren't supposed to be living the soft life. They're not supposed to be the main character. People are comfortable with seeing a black woman as the sidekick or the best friend to the white woman who is living the fairy tale. So when Meghan is unapologetically cooking in Cartier, people, specifically certain white women, can't stand it. Meghan isn't interested in shrinking herself or being the version of herself that society is comfortable with her being, and that's radical. If Meghan isn't relatable, then how come so many people are trying her recipes? If Meghan isn't relatable, then how come so many people are buying and sharing their Le Creuset? If Meghan isn't relatable, then how come so many people have been inspired by Meghan? Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.